It's time for week 1 of Sctv, starring Ethan Humble, Sophie Reese, and Katie Burns.
Good evening and welcome back to Sctv, Simpson College's first student-run weekly newscast. I'm Ethan Humble. Thanks for joining us to kick off this new school year.
And I'm Sophie Reese. I'm excited to be back for another year.
Stepping into the role as Sctv News Director has left me feeling some pretty high expectations. I really don't know how Jake did it last year. But hiring Sophie Reese as my co-anchor this year has certainly helped take lots of work off my plate.
I'm happy to help out, Ethan, and I'm so excited to welcome Sctv to its third year running as Simpson Student Media's TV outlet.
Some goals we have for Sctv this year are polishing the intro you saw at the beginning of tonight's newscast and figuring out how to get crystal clear, lag-free video to you viewers.
We're also hoping to include more fun, carefree segments and up our presence on social media even more than it was last year.
It certainly won't be easy, but with Sophie and the rest of Simpson Student Media staff on my side, I have no doubt we'll be able to accomplish our goals this school year. Here's on Simpson campus, a number of athletic facilities upgrades have made campus look like a full-scale renovation zone.
Some wrapped up over summer and some are continuing well into the fall. These had led to both celebrations and grievances among various student athletes. I stepped in to see what's going on with these renovations and heard some opinions from a couple of student athletes.
A big project is coming to Simpson College as the athletic department undergo many renovations. I spoke with Marty Bell, the director of athletics, to get the latest updates.
Buxton Stadium got a brand new surface on the track that was resurfaced, and then the turf was replaced. Across the way to our McBride Field and our softball complex, right now, if you went over there, you'd see all the infields have been skinned, and they are being prepared for turf installation on the infields. Those will be done here probably sometime mid-November, or mid-October, towards the beginning of November. Coles Fieldhouse is in desperate need of a new flooring system, is in desperate need of a new HVAC system. One can't happen without the other. So to put a new flooring system in requires the ability to control heat and humidity and the conditions to keep the wood intact, not warping, not splitting, cracking. Money was raised to make all these things happen. And so the HVAC system is near completion, should be within the next week actually, is what the latest news I have on that. And once that HVAC system is in and running, then the installation of a new wood surface is in, and the flooring should be in and usable sometime late October would be the plan right now. So as much as that's going to be a slight disruption to some of our sports, getting the floor in sooner than later was the play that most felt comfortable with. Now that goes off. Now the last piece will be Hopper Gymnasium, and we'll now move wrestling up to Hopper as a permanent location now that we have both men's and women's wrestling. We need bigger space. We're going to repurpose that entire space to a wrestling facility, and then the current wrestling facility will be vacated, and we will now move hitting cages that baseball and softball used to use out in Coles. Now they have the one out in Coles plus two more. But to maximize the physical space we have here, to maximize student usage, because intramurals will benefit from this. A lot of different areas will be able to benefit from this. The only thing that's been a challenge has been supply chain issues that have created some delays, a little bit longer than what we hoped, but I still think it's the prudent thing to do. It's a short-term inconvenience for a much longer-term permanent gain. It's going to enhance the student-athlete experience and the student experience on this campus in many, many ways. Maybe not in the next 8 weeks, but certainly for the next how many years?
However, because of the renovations, it has disrupted practices and games for the volleyball team and one of the newest additions, the gymnastics team.
It's very exciting, of course, that we're getting a new gym, but it's definitely affecting volleyball. We're taking kind of the grunt of it, but we're practicing every morning from 6 to 8, our normal time, but we're at the YMCA. It definitely is unfortunate when these kind of renovations happen. 1 year is going to have to, take the short end of the stick, but I'm okay sacrificing that because it's for the greater cause of the program, and it'll be okay. I 100% think it'll be worth it. I think that our school has lacked compared to other schools in the conference for the past few years in terms of facilities. I think it'll be nice to finally have air conditioning, especially considering we have preseason in August.
We practice more at Emerge, which is located in Grimes, so it's about a half-hour away, but our coaches drive us there. We have a rental bus that we use, and for Indianola Tumbling Center, we drive ourselves because it's only about 5 minutes away. It is frustrating. It's a little inconvenient right now, but we've been making do with what we have, and so far it's going really good. I do think it'll be worth it in the end. Coles is going to be the place that we're going to be training and competing, and I really like that aspect of it. I think the athletics department has done an excellent job, working around all of our crazy schedules, trying to find times for us to practice.
Reporting for SCTV, I'm Sophie Reese.
Great work as always, Sophie.
From athletics now to dining services, Simpson has also changed the game by adding a new addition to Tyler's Grill.
SCTV's Katie Burns has more.
Shocked, honestly. I didn't think Simpson would do anything like that.
I would say I was pretty, surprised when I heard the news.
Let's get lit at Tyler's.
There's something new brewing here on Simpson College's campus. That's right, Tyler's Grill is selling booze on Fridays.
On September 2nd, Tyler's Grill began selling both beer and wine to Simpson students, faculty, and staff. By selling alcohol on campus, Sodexo General Manager Ben Nielsen explained that the goal is to offer something fun, but in a responsible manner. The plan also hopes to facilitate faculty and staff connections. Students of age can also purchase drinks, although only with cash or card. Students board and flex will not be eligible to use. There are restrictions when it comes to the new plan. Only one beverage may be sold to a student at a time. Everyone must have their ID scanned, and they must be stamped when deemed to be of age. Let's take it over to Ethan Humble to show us the progress of getting an ice-cold beverage.
Well, I hear the word on the street is that they're now serving alcohol here in Tyler's. Let's go check it out and see how easy it is to obtain that booze. All right, I'd like to get some of the beer.
Ready.
All right.
Out. You.
Yep. You know it.
There you go.
Thanks so much. And there you have it, folks. I just officially ordered a Corona here on Simpson College campus. It's official. There is booze in Tyler's.
Alcohol selling hours are from 4:30 to 8 p.m. on Fridays. For SCTV, Katie Burns.
Thank you, Katie. I sure enjoyed that Corona, and it was even better on Simpson's campus.
Well, Ethan, Simpson's fall sports season is back, and a number of our Storm teams are back at competing.
That's right, Sophie. Men's and women's soccer opened up their seasons with home games on the new turf field.
Our own Dylan McChesney shot the highlights of the men's game on Tuesday.
Storm Soccer warming up for their home opener against Knox. This one would be a good one from start to finish, as the Storm would try to win their 11th straight home opener. Early in the first half, the shot is no good. This would be a very defensive battle all the way around. Knox working the ball around. Ball picked off there by Baraka Ellie. The shot, no good. The Storm would head into the locker room trailing 1-0. Big shot attempt and a make from Alan Imamovich, who knots the game at 1 apiece. At this point, there would be many attempts from both the Storm and Knox. An offsides call here takes that goal off the board. A big shot there, no good. And the big-time header there, game winner, Ricardo Ibarra. 2-1, Simpson wins their home opener.
A great game and a great Storm result.
And that success was found in a number of different places, Sophie.
Pickard Park hosted the cross-country team's Bill Buxton Invitational back on September 2nd. Ethan shot some of the highlights from the races.
Simpson Cross Country warming up now for its home opener out at the Bill Buxton Invitational at Pickard Park. First up, the ladies running their 4K course. It would be led by a trio of Tegan Booth, Emma Angus, and Laura Callum, all making strong strides for the Storm ladies. There would be a huge difference in points, with Simpson in the women's side coming out victorious with 18 points, followed by Loris with 43.
I think one of our personal team goals is to stay pretty deep and have a pack during the race. It's definitely a confidence boost.
Yeah, it felt good to take it out with Laura and a couple other teammates. It definitely showed our hard summer work paid off.
And now on to the men. They would run their 6K course, and they would absolutely dominate this race. Stepping up for the Storm, junior and two-time ARC All-Conference member Spencer Moon there. In a tight race, he would end up claiming second overall. And look at that big pack of the Storm right there, running right through their home course. They know this area well and will fortunately be able to host the conference meet here. That's both teams will be able to host at the end of October for their next home meet. We see a lot of these Storm runners. They came out strong, and they seem to be on a mission today, running some very fast times.
As a team, we wanted to be looking at top 2 in the conference and then top 4 in our regionals. That'd be probably good enough for nationals. We got high aspirations for ourselves.
Individually, I'd like to be near the top at most races, ideally win conference, win regionals, and top 10 in nationals.
I'm sure they both wanted to win, but they ran against a couple of really good individuals from different schools, and second place is the best they had tonight. And we're excited to host conference again. We've come a long way since our last conference meet. I think it was 2013. Excited to see the progress we've made over the last 9 years.
It was a fun night to be out supporting our Storm runners.
Women's tennis has also kicked off their season after losing top performers Anna Wanick and Emily King via graduation.
Our Sam Hine went out to the Buxton tennis courts and saw what our tennis team looked like after a summer off.
Over at the Bill Buxton Tennis Complex now, it would be a fun day of tennis, this being the second of 2 for the Simpson women's tennis team. They would take on Truman in the morning and fall 7-2, and now facing Coe here in the afternoon in their first conference match. It would be tough sledding, unfortunately. Simpson would fall 9-0 in this one. You can see here some great points put up by the one doubles team of Donnie Kinghorn and Kennedy Wright. And you can see a great rally here that Kinghorn has on the cross court, and Wright able to put it away. A little racket tap celebration there. Heading over into the 2 doubles match, Kira Anderson and Karina Covington able to get that one from an error by the co-opponents. And then over at 3 doubles, Bella Tranquilino and Maggie Hall able to make it to 8-6, almost able to overcome that deficit and get themselves a win at 3 doubles, but just not enough to beat those Cohawks. So you see a big one here over on court 6. That's a great lob. Coming in here at 3 doubles with another highlight. Maggie Hall able to push that one back, and Bella Tranquilino is able to get them the point there. Running it back again. That serve is not returned from Maggie Hall. Kennedy Wright gets a nice point there and a little fist bump.
Tough start, but the team would later knock off Buena Vista to claim their first conference win of the fall season.
In other sports, women's soccer is off to a 2-2-1 start to their non-conference schedule behind an extraordinary effort from Cassie Nash during the team's trip down to Texas.
Her 4 goals and 2 assists helped her to be named Conference Player of the Week.
The men's team is already 4-1, with all 4 of their wins coming by just 1 goal.
They've been impressive in the clutch. The Storm football team, however, lost on the road by a score of 54-21 Saturday. And volleyball stands at 4-4 after they took their own trip down to Texas.
After their home meet, the cross-country teams raced at Grinnell, where the men got 3rd of 8 and the women took 5th of 7.
Women's golf won the Nyack Fall Invite last weekend after finishing 13th of 14 in the Norse Cohawk Classic.
Lots of sports this week.
Yes, indeed. They keep us busy. That's going to be all from us this week.
We would like to thank Professor Siebert, Professor Carpinelli, Professor Steffen, and other faculty that make this newscast possible.
We humbly thank you for your time. We will be back next week. Until then, you stay classy, Simpson.